Man, I can't wait to use Love Train. I spent so much time grinding for a corpse to use this overpowered move. Ah, my eyes! Hey, this is a series where you'll learn everything you need to know about the Roblox game ABizarreDay. From origin history to combos and matchups, we have everything here on this mini-series. Welcome to HTUC, otherwise known as How to Use and Counter. This stand won the poll on my Discord server by a considerable amount. This time, we'll be going over D4C, otherwise known as Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I would really appreciate any sort of constructive criticism or improvements I can make in these types of videos in the future. This is a beginner's guide or a refresh guide to pros for how to use and counter D4C. You will not become a pro instantly after watching this. It takes practice. All info came from the ABD Wiki for combo inspiration, participating in 1v1s, spectating 1v1s, the ABD Discord, and the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fandom wiki. Also, please keep in mind, I am a samurai main.
Dojyaaan.
Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap is a stand used by Funny Valentine in the Steel Ball Run arc. Its first full appearance is in chapter 62 of the manga. The stand can allow different parallel worlds or dimensions to coexist at the same time. It also allows its stand user to visit the parallel worlds. Funny Valentine can even force people to go through different dimensions. It is said by many that D4C is among the most powerful stand in the series. It is a close-range stand. D4C Love Train is the evolved form of D4C, which was obtained from a saint's corpse. During Love Train, all misfortunes such as attacks with killing intent are immediately redirected or reflected back. To obtain Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, you must use a stand arrow with a 2% chance of obtaining it. Stand arrows spawn every minute and will despawn on the map after 15 minutes. They will not despawn if the arrow is already in your inventory though. This stand has many strengths and weaknesses. Let's just go over a few. Some strengths would include high close range damage, close range moves that also have a lot of range. If you are too close to the enemy, the attacks will not actually deal damage. Amazing projectile, it's highly spammable. Very easy to approach the enemy with clones. As long as there is no one spectating the 1v1 and the clones actually go to the opponent, it essentially becomes a 4v1 with 3 of your teammates being standless. You can teleport to them for an easy approach. Takes almost no damage while waving flag. Keep in mind that H will not make you take reduced damage, and that moves that bypass block, such as Reality Overwrite or the hand, will ignore reduced damage. Love Train. Now for some weaknesses. A few basic weaknesses would include struggles against stands with a lot of movement options, decent HP but not great, blocking is very important. Moves must be well spaced out. Using moves like Barrage too close to your opponent will not damage them. Regular clones are kind of stupid and will go after the closest enemy near them. I will now go over some simple but reliable combos that you can use in your 1v1s. Keep in mind that you can modify these combos and you should not only use these combos. I would love to hear your combos in the comments below. I will say B or H instead of the actual move names from now on, because saying the actual move names will get very complicated very quickly. I will go over one easy, one medium, and a hard combo and go over them. Many people ban Dimension Hop in 1v1s, so I will not have it in any of my combos. A great combo due to its high damage and range for the melee moves. It can be quite difficult to approach with this due to Y having somewhat little range compared to its other moves and an obvious animation. However, using clones to charge the opponent and teleporting to your clones can solve this problem if no one else is spectating the match, of course. The T at the end of the combo is completely optional, of course, but T has a very low cooldown and extra damage is extra damage if you land it, so why not go for it? Basically the same combo as the last one, except Y and R are reversed and you summon a D4C bomb clone with H in the middle of the combo. This combo deals an incredible amount of damage due to H. I advise you to stand jump away after Y because H will not reduce the amount of damage you take like B or F. Basically, your opponent's attacks will do the same damage as if you were standing still. Of course, if you're in the advantage and H will kill, you have plenty of HP and think you can tank the attacks that will hit you while you are waving the flag, then you don't have to stand jump away. I wouldn't say this is a combo that you would want to use in the middle of a match, but at the start. This combo can take down A tier durability stands if they are not blocking. Keep in mind that this combo is difficult to pull off, especially if there are spectators watching. The amount of damage it deals pays off. V allows you to teleport to a clone to easily connect R and Y, and the revolver at the end is just for extra damage. Also, for some reason, I couldn't teleport to my clone in this clip. Yeah. Now in this 1v1 situation, I'm facing the world alternate universe that is known for its amazing projectiles and close range moves. For this stand's 1v1s, I actually went to random public servers and invited people to my VIP server because if there is any spectators watching the 1v1s, the clones will attack the spectators and not the opponents. Anyways, the world alternate universe immediately starts by spamming projectiles, so I place down clones to take reduced damage and have an easy way to approach. The world alternate universe knows that the clones are dangerous, so he starts attacking them, but I teleport before he can kill them and go for the counterattack. The stand is quite difficult to counter due to its clones, range, and stun moves such as Y that also partially blinds the person it hits. Here are just a few basic tips for countering the stand that may help you fight it in 1v1s. Stands with lots of movement options do well at dodging a lot of moves, such as Shadow the World. Stands like the hand which bypass blocks destroy D4C HP when it is waving flags. You cannot escape D4C bomb. It will chase you endlessly and not despawn. The only way to escape it is to kill the bomb itself. If you can get the first hit in, ragdoll combos work extremely well against this stand. Watch out for regular clones as a D4C user can teleport to them and be in front of you in less than a second. You can stand jump away at the correct time, so if the D4C does teleport, you already stand jumped away, or attempt to kill the clones quickly so even if they manage to teleport, you'll still deal some damage to the D4C. Tusk Act 4 bypasses Love Train and pretty much destroys it with the glide. Let's be honest, pretty much destroys almost every stand. I will now go over a bad habit that many new users to Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap do when they first get the stand, so that you don't make those same mistakes in 1v1s. Clones are one of your strongest tools with this stand. Sometimes I will see people that are new to this stand not wave a single flag during the entire fight. Of course, if there are spectators watching, it makes sense as the clones will not attack the opponent but a random spectator. However, H is an amazing finisher move, and sometimes people forget to use it, which is really disheartening at times since most D4Cs can win with just a clone bomb, but end up losing because they keep doing close range moves. D4C's close range moves are definitely good, and you should still use them, obviously. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, please don't forget about your clones. They can be very useful. I will now go over matchups against popular stands and standard 1v1 rules and see how they play out, meaning no time stop, beatdowns, etc. This stand is quite dangerous in close range. However, your close range moves, such as R or E, have much more range than theirs. It is about the same distance as the World Alternate Universe E. Having much more distance on R will allow you to get the first hit if they are trying to barrage. Even your projectile is much better than the World Over Heaven knives. Unless they're like, their HP is like really low. At the start of the match, many of the World Over Heavens will play very passive and spam knives, meaning you have plenty of time to spawn clones. Once the clones are close to the opponent, teleport to the clone, and using R or Y is an easy way to get some starting damage. If you ever get stuck in a tight spot by a barrage or about to get hit by reality override, simply turn on Love Train and go on the offensive. When Love Train is on, you should become as aggressive as possible, as you are basically invincible and the opponent will immediately just start running away. I do advise you to go into first person mode, as the blinding lights will make it really hard to see what your stand is actually doing. Play smart and do your best. This matchup is definitely in Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap's favor. This stand is absolutely overwhelming in terms of sheer power. It will definitely overwhelm you in a close range barrage battle because it slows you down. Of course, when the Gold Experience Requiem uses Return to Zero, you can block or turn on Love Train. You might be thinking, there is no way they would barrage Love Train, right? Oh, you would be surprised. Gold Experience Requiem can quickly kill your clones, so if you want to use them to approach, make sure to teleport quickly. As long as you don't get into a barrage battle, so use R or Y, because they ragdoll and have slightly more range, so you should be able to hit them quite easily. Pay attention to their animations, and you should do decently well. The stand is very dangerous to you. Love Train does not work against this stand whatsoever. If it did, I would definitely advise you to use Love Train against Tusk Act 4's Glide. Using Love Train is basically completely useless against this stand. Almost all Tusk Act 4s will rush in with Z due to speed, precision, and that it stuns a person it hits for 1.2 to 2 seconds so that they are not able to use any moves. You can try to dodge their glide with roll or stand jump, but it will be difficult because you have to dodge for 8 seconds. If you survive their glide combo, you can stand jump away and summon clones or clone bombs. This stand is very difficult to beat. Of course, you can also try to hit the Tusk Act 4 with R while it is gliding to make them stop gliding. Gun is also very useful for extra damage. You should use Gun pretty much all the time in all of your matches. Do your best and don't get too upset if you lose. This matchup is disadvantageous for you. And Tusk Act 4 is supposed to be the counter for D4C that the developers made. Note, many of these matchups heavily depend on whether the D4C user is very experienced and skilled or not. They can also be false if the opponent knows what they are doing. Make sure to adapt to how your opponents play and choose your best options from there, such as how did they move, do they dash or roll frequently, what about counters and stand jumps. As I said before, this is a beginner's guide for how to use and counter dirty deeds done dirt cheap. To find out more, you should do research yourselves and do 1v1s. The ABD community is usually nice enough to do 1v1s and help you in their Discord server about stand strategies. Be sure to give me suggestions in the comments or on my Discord, more importantly, for the next how to use encounter. Have a nice day and goodbye.